next week, I'm going to deload, and I'm going to do some volume, but maybe not the straight bar, like dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever. Right? A break from speed. Give my tendons a break, but tear my muscles a new asshole.
Right.
Then the next week I start over, I'm going to use the same amount of tension in chains roughly, which is about 120 pounds of chain, 3 chain on each side, and I'm going to do 135, 140, 145. Then I'm going to start over again with volume, and I'm going to go back to red. But the weights don't go up until the max goes up. I have been at 185. When I benched my first 600, I was using 225 for speed weight. Okay? It's going to blow your mind. 225 with a double red or a double black or 3 chain, or a mixture of some sort of that range. I noticed my bench was stagnating and my max effort days weren't feeling as strong. So I got the bright idea to back off my speed work. I went down to 205, did the same thing, bench 606. It's like, oh, I was onto something. The next cycle, I went down to 195 and I benched 612. Point being was I started getting so fucking fast that the heavier weights, I was moving at the same speed, but it was breaking me down. So I lightened it up a little bit and it allowed the max day to shine, which is what I really cared about. But my speed work was lighter percentage-wise than it used to be. So I was up and around the 34% range. I went all the way down to almost 30%, and my bench went up.
That's what Brian's having a hard time with. The guy at our gym is fairly strong. Me and him about the same. He was doing a lot of speed work with over 205, about 225.
Yeah, so my theory is that when you're weaker, beginner or intermediate, your speed work has to be a little bit closer to 35, 40% range. But as you get stronger, because you're a top fuel dragster, you got to back the throttle off a little bit. Doesn't mean you don't try to move it with intent just as fast, but you got to be careful with how much weight you use because you actually can fire it fast. So that's when I had Paul Quinn hook me on an accelerometer because he told me I was full of shit, and I was like, dude, I will show you full of shit right now. I put 185 on there, a double red and 3 chain on each side, moved at 1.16 meters per second. You know how fast that is? That's crazy fast. When Louis advocates 0.7. So it's almost twice as fast as what Louis advocated. Make sense? Yeah. But what I learned was I was going too heavy. So what I'm saying is if you're a little bit too light and it looks too fast, you're better off than having a little too heavy, a little too slow.
Right.
And then build from there. So if I were to use most football players, they would not use more than a plate. They just get super fast.
Right.
10, 12 sets, 45 seconds rest, right?
Right.
So that's kind of, yeah, I mean, speed work's kind of complicated that way, but I've wrote a lot of articles on it. You guys can read up on it and whatever, but a lot of you guys are missing bar speed. Some of you guys are missing maximal strength, but most of you guys' technique's pretty decent. So the next thing I know, just from training people for a long time, is you guys' arms are dog shit. So we got to really work on triceps. So what I'll try to do is makeshift and show you guys as many tricep exercises as we can. That way you guys can see most of what's made my bench super strong without beating up my shoulders.
So like the daily bench day, go in and hit the 4x25 warm up.
Yep.
Come in, do whatever your bench work is.
Yep. If it's a stabilizer problem, bamboo bar. Right?
Is that the best thing you use for stabilizers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The thing of it is, you can do all these external, internal rotators and all this bullshit. You take that bar and bench 4 sets of 25 with hanging quarters, you just did that all the exact same. Turned it on just as much. And you actually bench press and did something. That's why I'm not a big fan of all that shit. I'm a big fan of using bamboo bar to bench press or do really light militaries because it forces all those little stabilizers to work at the same rate as the big ones, and that's what you're looking for in the first place. A lot of people get their stabilizers hurt, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, joint capsule muscles get hurt because all these big muscles overtake everything and the small muscles just lay flat until it's too late. Then something goes a little haywire, the small muscles are like, hey, we'll help, boom, they're gone. Make sense? Instead of being inactive, we're active with the entire movement the entire time. That's why you stay away from machines, and you got to be careful when you do stability things, but you do them smart, like hanging kettlebells. If you want to do step-ups, have the kettlebells and hanging bands in your hands, doing them that way, where you're still having to use resistance, but it's causing this shit, you know? I'm not a big fan of like the Bosu balls and stuff like that, but you do have to create some chaotic environments in your weight training for it to actually have some stabilization effect. You know what I mean? That's why I'm a big fan of the camber bar on the squat. It's a rocking mechanism. It's a hell of a core builder. Somebody's asked me about abs. Most people that I see that have ab problems or shaking problems in the squat, they don't use a camber bar. Because the camber bar wants to do this all the way down. You saw in those videos yesterday on the screen, you saw me take down my camber bar, which is 90-degree bends, which you can't cheat. And did that bar shake? Not one bit. It has 700 pounds of weight and 200 pounds of chain on it. But the point is try to build that stuff into your training and your thought process so you're attacking everything.
So we didn't have a bamboo bar yet.
PVC pipe.
Regular bar with
From a-
kettlebells? No?
Better, but the problem is the bar weighs 45 pounds, so it's going to have some leveling effect or whatever you want to call it, some balancing effect. You want to find something that's fairly strong that doesn't weigh anything,
Okay.
so that the weights are very chaotic.
You said oak.
So what I do is go to like Home Depot, get you some 2.5 inch Schedule 80 plastic pipe, get you an 8-foot length, and put caps, glue caps on it with like plumbing glue, and you got something that can hold 150 pounds. And so it's about as strong as a bamboo bar. Remember, I told you you don't need it for more than 25s on each side anyway.
So using like, what was it, the chains that you would, not the chains, but the handles on the, like a pull down machine, the singular handles, attaching a loop and putting chains on, would that be decent? I mean, just
I never really thought of that, but yeah, that's a pretty good idea. That's the thing is, it's got to be fun for you to try things and build new library of tools in your toolbox. Like for me, I would just walk through here and just start, what we're going to do right now, I'm going to walk through here and just make shit up. But I know where your weaknesses are, so I'm not making anything up. But what I am is figuring out new stimuluses for those muscles to grow. If I have 20 different tools in my toolbox to attack that tricep, it's not going to see that but every 20 workouts. That means you'll never notice it, you'll never get used to it, and then you're not getting stronger at the exercise, you're just getting strong. So my point is if I squat with a straight bar only 3 times in a 15 to 20 week cycle, and I get stronger every meet I go to, I didn't master the bar, I just got strong. And that's what you want to see out of your athletes and people, is if you really want them to get strong, then get them strong everywhere, and then when you come back and test, if they're mentally tough enough, they'll be able to crawl under shit they've never done before and just do it. Just because they're strong everywhere. You know what I mean? So, but you have to figure out who you're dealing with. You got like high dopamine guys that need a lot of variability, you got high serotonin guys that like everything straight. There's kind of like 2 guys I would consider. Guys that can do like a, what's his name, workout, Chico.
Yep.
You got guys that can do Chico and squat 3 times a week, and bench 3 times a week, delt 3 times a week, they never burn out. And then you got guys like me that need 30 different variations of squats because I just get fried within a week. You know what I mean? So you have to figure out who you're dealing with. But I would say for athletic purposes and athletic training or personal training or strength conditioning purposes, you're better off going more on the dopamine side just to save on wear and tear.
And it also keeps them fresh mentally.
Right,
And
yeah, it makes it fun.
I run into that some with my clients. It's like, oh, we're squatting again today. It's like,
You know what the hardest thing to do about being where I'm at is that I have to design my workout, then I have to know what I have to do a week out. All my training partners ask me, hey, what are we gonna do tomorrow? I'm saying, shut the fuck up, it doesn't matter. Because you don't wanna know. Because I have to know, and then that means it just wears on me all day.
yeah.
Versus they don't know what they're gonna do, so they don't know if they're coming in doing something easy or something hard, but they don't think about it. So when they come in, it's just like, okay, we're doing this.
So that's why you shouldn't think about it before you go to the gym. Just go in and do it.
Yep. Yep. So what I'm saying is if you create your own program,
Right.
or you have it in front of you, it can weigh on you. Because after a while,
How far out do you plan you're a little bit more advanced, obviously.
planning, actually the more advanced you get is the less amount, the
Okay.
least amount of time. So
Okay.
I only plan my training 15 weeks out from me, maybe 20, but it's only a guide. So when you guys write stuff or make stuff on your own, it's only a guideline. You can't make it concrete because you don't know if you're gonna get sick, you don't know if you're gonna have a family member die. If you think that, I can't do this meet because 6 weeks ago I got a cold and I couldn't squat Friday, now I'm not gonna be my best, you're never gonna be your best.
Yeah.
So it's only a guideline. Make sense?
Yep. No, absolutely.
I've only not went through this like in January, and then one meet in 2005, or only 2 meets I haven't finished, just because I didn't feel good. Well, I couldn't plan for it,
Okay.
So I think the best way we can spend the rest of the time is trying to show you guys as many exercises as possible.